Welcome to the Dodgers Blue News channel. Before the news, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Now, let's get to the Dodgers news. Hey Dodgers fans, listen up because the trade market is heating up and there's some big news on the radar. The name of the moment is Sandy Alcántara. Yes, him, former Cy Young winner and, not too long ago, one of the most dominant pitchers in all of baseball. In the 2022 season, he was simply unstoppable, throwing 6 complete games and leading the league with an incredible 228.2 innings pitched. He was a true Iron Man that year, but the tide has turned. After a significant drop in 2023, the real blow came. Tommy John surgery, which sidelined him and put a big question mark over his future. Now comes the possibility that's got everyone paying attention. According to R.J. Anderson of CBS Sports, Alcántara could indeed be a name available on the trade market this summer. Anderson says that while his velocity is back post-surgery, the command and dominance that wowed the world in 2022 are still far from returning. Anderson highlights that teams will need to carefully weigh the risks. What we've seen so far isn't exactly encouraging. In 10 starts in 2025, he's posted an alarming 8.04 ERA with a 1.57 whip. Marlins fans, who were full of hope for their ace's return, got hit with a harsh dose of reality. The numbers are clear. His fastball velocity has returned, but his off-speed pitches, once one of Sandy's greatest weapons, have practically vanished. To put it in perspective, in 2022 his run value on off-speed pitches was an elite 100%, with a chase rate of 94%. Today, those numbers have plummeted to 25% and 16%, respectively. And the walk rate, which was just 5.6%, has now jumped to 11.6%. That's the scenario. Alcántara is on the market, the Dodgers are watching closely, and the big question is how much it's worth betting on the recovery of a guy who was once one of the best on the planet, but is now still searching to regain his top form. The trade market is wide open, and things are only going to heat up from here. Even with all these challenges, there's no shortage of teams watching Sandy Alcántara, believing he can rediscover himself and return to being that dominant pitcher from not so long ago. And of course, who shows up as a potential suitor? That's right, the New York Yankees and our Los Angeles Dodgers. The situation says it all. The Dodgers started the season with, on paper, one of the strongest rotations in the league. But injuries have completely dismantled it. As the trade deadline gets closer, that familiar pressure starts creeping in. Depending on how the injured arms recover, the front office may feel compelled to go after a starting pitcher to stabilize the rotation. But it's not that simple. Alcántara's contract is a heavy one. He's owed $17.3 million both this season and next, with a club option of $21 million in 2027. This is undoubtedly a high-risk gamble. On one hand, there's a real chance he finds his rhythm again and starts looking like the ace he was before surgery. On the other hand, advanced metrics clearly show that, right now, he's far from that level. It's the classic dilemma that keeps any front office awake at night. It's hard to imagine anyone, at this moment, paying a premium in prospects for Alcántara. But you also can't deny how incredible it would be to see him bounce back, put on the jersey of a playoff-bound team, and maybe, just maybe, make a difference come October. The market is alive. The Dodgers rotation remains a huge question mark, and the next chapters promise plenty of drama. Just imagine Sandy Alcántara arriving in Los Angeles and putting on the Dodgers uniform. The impact would be massive. Playing in an environment like this, surrounded by top-tier infrastructure, with one of the best development and analytics departments in baseball, could be exactly what he needs at this stage of his career. The support here is unmatched. Whether it's working with the pitching coaches, strength and conditioning, data analysis, or fine-tuning his mechanics, the Dodgers are second to none. If there's any place that can help someone like Alcántara rediscover his best version, it's Los Angeles. And there's more. Playing on a competitive team, one that shows up every day fighting for wins and always thinking big when it comes to October, makes a huge difference. Sure, the pressure is there, but it's the good kind of pressure, the one that comes with packed stadiums, passionate fans, and a clubhouse full of players who know how to win. For Alcántara, it would be a golden opportunity. A fresh start in a winning environment, with a real shot at reinventing himself and maybe writing a brilliant new chapter in his career. And let's be honest, If he can make the right adjustments and return to even half of what he was in 2022, this Dodgers rotation would gain a serious weapon in the title race. For the Dodgers, bringing in Sandy Alcántara would be a bold gamble, but one with huge potential upside. It would be the kind of move that shows ambition, long-term vision, and a willingness to take calculated risks in pursuit of something bigger. If the front office decides to pull the trigger, it wouldn't just be about patching a hole in the rotation. It would be a bet on raw talent, trusting the track record of a guy who has already proven he can dominate any lineup in the league. Even with the uncertainty, Alcántara's ceiling remains sky-high. And if he gets anywhere close to that level again, this wouldn't just be a nice addition. It could be a game-changer, especially when thinking about the postseason. Bringing Alcántara into this roster also means better managing the workload of the pitchers who are currently healthy, giving Dave Roberts more flexibility. It helps avoid burning out the bullpen every week, creates room to manage innings, tweak rotations, and even protect others coming back from injuries. There's another big factor here. If the Dodgers make this move now, they're not just thinking about 2025. If it works out, Alcántara wouldn't be a half-season rental. He could be a key part of the rotation for the next few years, further solidifying this project that's already become a model across Major League Baseball. Dodgers fans can expect exactly what this organization is known for: boldness, ambition, and a relentless pursuit of solutions, even in the toughest situations. If the Sandy Alcántara deal really happens, don't expect someone who's going to dominate right out of the gate. This is a move packed with risk, but also filled with possibility. Fans need to understand that, at first, this would be a project. Alcántara is far from his best form. The numbers make that clear, but the talent is still there, waiting to be unlocked. And if there's one organization capable of making that happen, it's the Dodgers. With patience, behind-the-scenes work, and the right adjustments, there's absolutely a real chance he could recover a good chunk of what made him a Cy Young winner. At the same time, this is the type of acquisition that shows the front office isn't sitting around waiting for things to happen. They're paying attention, monitoring the market, and ready to make the right moves, always with October in mind. Expectations need to be balanced, grounded, but with the understanding that if this gamble pays off, the upside could be enormous. The message to the fans is clear: the Dodgers are still that team that plays to win. And if taking a risk is what it takes to chase a championship, they're going to do it. The possible arrival of Sandy Alcántara to the Dodgers is, without a doubt, a high-risk move, but also one with tremendous potential upside. We're talking about a guy who, at his best, was simply one of the most dominant pitchers in MLB. But that's not the version currently available on the market. What we're seeing is a pitcher still battling the after-effects of surgery, trying to regain his command, consistency, and confidence on the mound. The upside is clear. If there's any environment capable of rebuilding a pitcher of this caliber, it's Los Angeles. The Dodgers are masters at extracting maximum value, tweaking mechanics, using data, and turning uncertainty into results. The team's track record in developing and rehabilitating pitchers is rock solid and highly respected throughout the league. On the flip side, Alcántara's hefty contract and current form raise serious questions about cost-benefit. The price won't just be financial. It'll likely involve prospects too, and that always weighs heavily, especially when dealing with a player who, right now, offers no guarantees. In my opinion, it all depends on the rotation's health at the trade deadline. If Walker Buehler, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Clayton Kershaw, and Bobby Miller are healthy and producing, it doesn't make sense to give up major assets for Alcántara. But if injuries keep wrecking the rotation and there are no safer alternatives on the market, then yes, it's worth considering, as long as the trade price reflects the risk. In that case, betting on a guy who, if it clicks, can raise this team's ceiling makes total sense. In summary, this isn't the first choice, nor is it the safest move. But it's the kind of gamble that, within the Dodgers model, can turn a problem into a brilliant solution. If the price is right, it could be a very smart move. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is it worth taking this risk and betting on Sandy Alcántara, or would it be better to look for safer options in the market? Share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, Dodgers Nation.